Hello, Chester here. So we're going to continue where we left off last video. We're going to play this Esper Sultai shell of Dimir Tempo. It's not really Sultai since we're only splashing green because we have that right shaman here. And as you can see, there's really no green cards here aside from the that right shaman. Moving forward with the deck, I do think that I have undervalued that right shaman before. I used to play a lot of Nethergoyf inside this shell in particular. Well, not the Esper one. Because for the blue-black tempo shell, I really like the pressure Nethergoyf gives. Because in blue-black, you really had to close out games fast. Because Fatal Push won't answer every creature there is, and you have a limited number of mana drains. You only have two Mystic Sanctuaries. So this one is more mid-rangey in a sense. And it works because that right shaman, if this is not killed, it will just drain opponent's life total or eat away at their graveyard, which is also pretty relevant in this meta. And another advantage of running that right shaman now is that you can go turn one that right shaman, then turn two, cast psychic frog, having mana to cast either Spell Pierce or Spell Snare. So the other frog decks can't really use mana drain because you have four spells to play around that line. And we are mainly splashing white. So a problem this particular shell has is its reliance on the graveyard. You should notice that Deathrite Shaman and Nethergoyf are both reliant on the graveyard. Even Psychic Frog is a bit reliant on your graveyard if you want evasion, but sometimes it doesn't really matter. You're just going to attack without exiling things from your graveyard. Treasure Cruise also cares about the graveyard. So most of the time you are just dead to a resolve on licensors. So by running white, we do solve that the problem of blue black that you can't answer 5 mana threats and above. So if you're up against a reanimator deck, you're dead to an Atraxa, and we also get access to prismatic ending post board for unlicensors or any other graveyard hate. And the cool thing about this list is it looks like it's weak to Blood Moon, but if you manage to make that right shaman, if you manage to keep that right shaman alive while an opponent blood moons you, you could actually get out of it by casting prismatic ending. Anyway, let's talk about the main point of this video. I really wanted to focus on specific matchups. So for this video, I will be covering most of the energy decks, and I have one match with a random aggro deck. So we're going to try to break down how to navigate those matchups. I think the matchup is still bad. This is probably the best we can do against these decks. And I've found that having access to a lot of one mana counter magic keeps us ahead of energy at times, and just keeping your interaction suite at a low cost helps too. So having access to Swords of Plowshares, Prismatic Ending, they are basically one mana removal spells most of the time. And we only have one Toxic Deluge, but you could probably add one more or two more for the energy matchup, but maybe it's just one more because I do think having three of these is already overboarding, and you don't really want to run Toxic Deluge because you run the risk of killing your own Deathrite Shaman. So the important cards for the aggro matchups are mainly these are the seven cards you want. Unlicensors is excluded, but sometimes you can bring this in against John Delirium. But I really found that I dislike having graveyard hate against the energy decks since the only target for those is usually just a one-off Cotonian Nightmare or Lurus, and I don't think it really helps that much for that purpose only. And I'd rather have these counter spells and threats. Anyway, let's try to play some games and see what we think about it. Oh, it's the maker of the Black White Belcher deck. This is some nice testing. They are on a Giganta deck. Hmm, they're going first. Let's mulligan this. I think they are on Boros. I think this is a capable enough hand. Yeah, maybe Cruz should go. Let's check what's the on the top of our deck. It's another mana drain. Don't want that. Haven't really encountered enough Boros to tell which variant is better. Hmm, I think we just hold back for now. We probably counter a. Guess that's good enough. Yep, that probably does it. Made the mistake of hmm, we still have a chance. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Against Boros Energy, we want Prismatic Ending, Stern Scolding, Toxic Deluge, and we are going to trim down on Bowmasters here. Probably all of them. Bubble could go. Kind of favor Mana Drains and Spell Pierces in this matchup. Let's play first. Let's mulligan. Yes, this is an okay hand. We're just going to surveil. I think Tamio is nice here. It might incentivize them to play a removal spell. Yeah, I do this at end step. Need to see what they're fetching for. So they're getting a Flage. We may be managing that. That also works. I choose Mana Drain here because I want to Treasure Cruise. looking to draw into a land. Okay, that's fine. I think that's fine. I kind of want the threat, but I only have one deluge. Now they might think that they are safe in jamming something here. Johnny, let's just snare. All right, there's a Tamio. I think I want the deluge for later. For now, I just jam this Tamio. Gonna get Treasure Cruise here. Managing this. Get get that out. Do lose some value. I think it's fine. They can replay the Flage. I might just use swords there. Not like I'm in a huge rush. Just gonna keep that fetch there. Get Lurus. I think I just want to counter that. Let's see. I think I just want Cruise. Okay. Let's just flip the Tamio. Might be in trouble if they find Blood Moon. Okay. Let's try to find the threat here. Let's use another turn. Let's pass. Hmm. Let's attack first. That's really bad. They even have another swords. All right. Okay. One, two. All right. Let's give it all. Okay. Hmm. All right. They actually can still draw into a one ring and win this. All right. Now they can't. All right. Let's just discard. Hmm. That was a long game. That was extremely long. Guess I could trim a frog for a surgical now. Let's try this. Okay. Hands is serviceable. It's good if they don't have one drop, one drop, one drop. Okay, I think we want that. Okay, we're just going to get the swords here. Maybe play control a bit longer till we can hold mana drain and frog up. Feel like they have a swords here. They could also have blood moon, which we kinda can ignore. Alright, since they used a flage already. I guess it's safe to land Tamiyo. Let's use this spell snare here. Alright, there's the swords. We're kind of on a clock here. I think I can let that go. You really have to choose your fights here. And I don't think the graveyard matters that much because I have a frog on the battlefield. Let's just attack for now. No need to discard this yet because we could draw into a fetch, which we don't, which is okay. I guess we then do this. Let's just mana drain this. Let's use the mana to get lures back. Still don't find the land. Hmm. Guess we can go shields down. All right. That's kind of relief. Let's see what they do here. They decide to take. Let's try to brainstorm. All right, that's pretty good. Going to let them hit me once with this. Guess we can mana drain for a turn. Let's just hit. Need to counter this. There's a Tamio.
I stayed up too late reading. Again.
Okay.
Nothing but more fascinating story.
There's a skill Digiganta.
In the right hands, knowledge, use your words. Inspect the library.
Let's just attack. Oh god. Okay.
Before you act.
Let's ditch these. Nice. My god. That was a long game. GG's. Right. Another lures deck. Let's play first. This is a generally good hand against lures decks. We have Swords to Plowshares, Orcish Bowmasters, and some selection. Looks like this is another aggressive version. Maybe Energy, maybe Delirium, since they played out a Ragavan. Let's get ourselves an archive, leave that on top. When playing the deck, you usually want the to play out your cards the very last moment you have to. Okay? Except for this one. Well, yeah, actually for this case, I'm fine with having to swords the Guide of Souls here because I'm playing out the Orcish Bowmasters anyway. I think it's worth doing this. They want to spend removal on this one. That's fine. Nice. You're getting a Cotonian Nightmare. I have to dig for something. Frog might be able to do it for me here.
Nothing can break our bond.
Now we're just going to give this flying. There's no need to discard the bauble. While that is on the stack, we swords that a Johnny. Think we can fetch for brainstorm now. Hmm, that is annoying. They're drawing a Ragavan. Yes, this works. Let's brainstorm. Let's put back the mana drain on top to hide. Let's see what we do here. Okay. I think I'm fine with this trade. There's no need to play out the the third frog, I think. Bowmasters is problematic, but they probably just drew that and don't have another land. Perfect. Can even just take back the mana drain here. Huh. I think I countered this for now. Let's attack with the two frogs. All right. We should have this covered. 2, 4, 7, 8. All right. Oops. Not that one. This one. Nice. For this matchup, we want Stern Scolding, Prismatic Ending, Toxic Deluge, No, not Vacuum. This might seem weird, but you don't actually want dedicated Graveyard Hate for this deck. Trim down on Bowmasters. This is probably going to be too slow on the draw. Do it like this. Ship it. I think this is a near perfect hand. against this deck. Now, what you want to do in this point, at this point, is not play the removal spell in order to play Stern Scolding and let this Guide of Souls hit you. Now we're just going to take it slow, hold up mana drain. That's actually even better. They should have done that post combat. Now we can sewers. Don't think I want brainstorm. That's actually pretty good. This sets up our treasure cruise.
Too late, really.
Not really sure what the heck their hand looks like. Now my play here is going to be get back a mana drain. Use this to fuel my cruise. Check out what they're doing there. Okay. Three. I think it's better to get back cruise here. Yeah. Five. I play frog. Not going to fight over this. Well, I can't. Better to get psychic frog out and the Deathrite Shaman. Now I get back my cameo.
I've read nearly the entire library.
Curse is interesting. Prison hits frog. Okay. Guess swords is nice to have. All right. Just going to flip Tamio here.
Tell me everything you know about this place. Silence is not the answer.
Try to see if we can bait them into using. All right. Okay. Still have one. Pretty sure this is certainly over.
Respect the library.
Drain the lures while I can. There's my frog. Nice. Alright. Playing against lures. I think this is keepable. They probably are on frog or Dimir, which this hand is good against. Sorry, did I say frog or Dimir? Guess Thoughtseize is fine. There's no point in trying to hide something here because I really want to use the brainstorm to get rid of, of some of my cards. Now we're going to look for exactly that, Bowmasters. Surveil here. Don't want a sanctuary. We can play Bowmasters now because I'm sure about that. Let's just play out Tarn here. Hold up Spell Snare. They thought these. They probably should get Treasure Cruise. We don't have to fetch here. Let's just attack here. Going to play out the archive. Not really sure if I'm going to Treasure Cruise for next turn. Alright, so that means we can try to get back our Treasure Cruise. I think we just go for Breeding Pool untapped. They might go for lures here. Alright, that's trouble. Get back lures. leave this as a blocker. Surprisingly, we're at a high enough life total here. Get another black source. Let's brainstorm. Think double bowmasters is good here. And let's hide the lures just in case they draw into Thoughtseize. Maybe we could attack. Nice. I was thinking about them having spell snare. I guess against this deck we want prismatic endings, turn scolding, ghost vacuum, unlicensors. On the draw, let's cut down on some mana drains here. Actually, let's cut all of the mana drain and spell pierce. Trim down a bowmasters for a deluge. I think this is fine. Let's try to find for a good spell here. Think stern scolding counts. You don't need to crack the fetch here. If they don't, psychic frog gets 8 stern scolding. No, actually spell snare. We use this time to try to filter out our hand. Now I just want to get an island here. I make sure that I remove the lands from the top of my deck at my turn since they could respond to me fetching with a bowmasters here. Okay, let's use Tamio as a distraction here.
I'll be in the library.
Let's use the black mana here.
Hope you don't mind my ignorance.
I was hoping we could
Before you act,
draw into a swords to plowshares or prismatic ending. It was a good try.
words can fix
All right,
everything.
nice.
Use your words.
So I think Now I can die to a boat. Staying around that is for cowards. I think that's nice to have.
Silence is not the answer.
Play out Bowmasters. I think I just do this now. Might be a mistake to take back the treasure cruise, but we'll see. If they don't take back the lures, all right, do this. Maybe I want to scry. All right, that's good.
Check the library.
Perfect. Now we win.
Multiverse with more knowledge than
Nice,
you can ever
nice.
learn.
Let's play first. No lands. This is keepable. We have one land, but still unkeepable. Now we have the opposite, but we're on five, so this is keepable. Since we don't have anything to do here, I'm just going to pass the turn. I'm not really sure what they're on, so I'm not sure what I'm looking for yet. Looks like they are on Boros energy. The Thoughtseize is the only card I have. Now let's look for relevant cards here. Cameo. I think this is too slow. Spellsnare is fine. We kind of have to find at least one treasure cruise to stay in this game. And Spellsnare lets us. Okay. If this is Pride, I'm probably dead. But it is what it is. This would have been actually a good Bowmaster turn for us. Let's just get a one of those. Let's check the top of our library. See Mana Drain. Let's try to. get back swords here. I kind of doubt that we can get back in this game with just swords. I think we need at least two removal spells. Yeah, I also just made the mistake of letting this attack. Let's go for Toxic Deluge, Prismatic Ending. We are on the play for this one. I'm going to cut Bowmasters and and Spell Pierce here and trim down a mana drain. Now the reasoning why I'm cutting down on Bowmasters here is that this isn't really effective in this matchup. I think it does ping down other Bowmasters and maybe Ragavan or Pride, but it's still a two mana removal spell essentially, since you don't really care about the bodies. Let's play first. This is a capable hand since we have Nethergoyf, a Bobble, and Brainstorm. We're going to bobble ourselves here to see if we want the top card. Looks like they brought in Surgicals for some reason. Alright, Frog is good. Okay, that is fine. Maybe they take Brainstorm, maybe they take Frog. I think whatever they take here it makes it easier on us. They're definitely thinking about firing off that surgical. Do I want to fire off this brainstorm? No, I probably don't. I was thinking I could abuse the shuffle effect here, but I don't really want to make them see what I draw into. They have another one. A lot of lands. Getting the breeding pool here. Now they're kind of low enough that I can just pressure them with Nethergoyf and the Deathrite Shaman here. Let's see if they cast this one. Okay, now they're dead to the Nethergoyf. I think it's worth trying to pressure their life total here rather than going for a Lurus. This deck is a little bit fetch heavy, so if they don't kill the Deathrite Shaman, it probably kills them or they get Stuck on 2 mana. Nice. Now on the draw, I think this is fine. Maybe I should cut a frog for a wait, no. A spell pierce. This is a pretty good hand on the draw. You have a way to find more lands. You could also go Deathrite Shaman. I think depending what we see here, we're just going to go for a Deathrite Shaman here. Now the problem with this play is that if this Guide of Souls finds like a Raptor into a Johnny, I'm pretty much dead at that point. It's always the case for energy. Now if they just remove a spell here, as long as I find a land, I'm fine. Like they are going for the kill here. And that's actually pretty good for me since that's a better that is a turn 2 I can handle. Actually thinking about flipping Cameo here. Let's check what they have.
I've read nearly the
I
entire
think I
book.
can flip Cameo here. Maybe do this. I want to draw into the swords for sure. But for Nethergoyf, I'm not really sure.
Violence is not the answer.
Oh, that doesn't matter because all right, that is a pretty bad play from me.
Aggression is unbecoming. Perhaps not every battle.
Now we play Nethergoyf. We swords the Guide of Souls now just in case they have another Bowmasters or a Pride. We get to stonewall them with Nethergoyf. Position here. They're just gonna spell pierce. Let's see if this can help us live through this. I have to take 5 or 4. Yeah, the I shouldn't have played the bobble there. I think we take 4 now. this is tough. Yeah, this is wrong. I guess our out here is towards this. All right, welcome back. So we did pretty well into a lot of the energy matchups. The last game, I think the punt with the Bowmaster and Mistress Bobble cost me the game. And that only reinforces that this deck in general will always struggle against the energy decks no matter what. And I think I'm just pretty lucky that the way my hand shaped up was enough to beat their hand. And I do think had above average hands for those matches. So even if we ended in a positive win rate, I do think we are generally unfavored there. But I would say that Deathrite Shaman continues to be an all-star for this deck. I think the only difference I was testing Deathrite Shaman before when I built the Dimir Tempo guide, but I didn't really play Spell Snare and Spell Pierce in that list. And I think that changes a lot if you want to play that right shaman. Because again, one of the most powerful plays you could do is land that right shaman into turn 2 frog with a pierce or snare up. And if they decide to remove the death right shaman, that's one less removal for your psychic frog, your Tamio. And I do think the 2 of Nethergoyf is necessary just for added pressure because sometimes you do just draw into a lot of interaction without threats to back them up. And we're still running 21 lands. I think I like having 21 lands because that way you could get to run a lot of utility lands like double Mystic Sanctuary, two Survey lands, and you also have room to have Breeding Pool in here. So that's 17 untapped lands. As for the sideboard, I think I like the way it is now, but if you really wanted to do better against energy decks, I'd add one more Toxic Deluge. Since the way the deck is currently built, you are almost always going to lose the triple one drop start from an energy deck. And the only way you could actually try to stop that is Toxic Deluge. I guess the major points in the energy matchup is that you should be really patient with your removal spells because they are really valuable. You only have 6 of them post board. So whenever you can, you should use the counter spells or invalidate those creatures using Tamio, Nethergoyf, or Psychic Frog. You could stonewall a lot of creatures with this threats. And if you do choose to stonewall some minor threats with these, I do think you have more room to use swords to plowshares to game ending threats such as a flipping a Johnny or a guide of souls that's about to make another thing fly or even a flage. And it makes sense to make games go longer against the energy decks because we do run a couple of Mystic Sanctuaries. We have Treasure Cruise. We have counter spells. I do think that gives us more room to have better top decks than them. So you don't really have to rush in and deploy threats if you don't need to. But you could get a read on your opponent that they aren't really going to do anything threatening the next turn. Then you just can deploy your Psychic Frog freely. I think that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.